I want to talk briefly in this video about film festival strategies. Now, this is something that as a filmmaker you're going to want to look into and whether or not it's right for you to either enter a film festival or to release your film directly to video on demand services. So the question then is, if you feel a film festival is right for you, what sort of strategies do you need to have in place in order to achieve the most success for your film? Now, this is not an exhaustive list. These are simply a few things that have worked for me over the years. Granted, I have had several rejections from various film festivals, and if you're going to enter film festivals, just be prepared. You will have rejections, but it's nothing to get discouraged about. Just stick with your plan, and sooner or later, you will have success with your film. Okay, so here we go. Here are a few things that have worked for me when it comes to film festivals. Maybe they've worked for you. And if you have other ideas and suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Number one, you need to be realistic about your goals. You need to really ask yourself, what is it that you want to achieve with the exposure that comes with being in a film festival? And what sorts of goals do you have in mind for your career and also for your film? Because as you start to navigate the world of film festivals, you'll soon see that there are so many out there, and you could really spend a lot of time and a lot of money submitting to a lot of different festivals. So you really need to have a plan in place. What specifically do you want to achieve with this film? And what specifically would you like to see in your career moving forward? So be realistic about your goals. If you have a feature and you're looking for distribution for that film, your strategy is going to be a little bit different than a filmmaker who has a 5-minute short. And also a filmmaker who's already established in a certain market is going to have a different film festival strategy than someone who's looking to break into a new market and open up doors of opportunity for his or her career. So when you start to think about the goals you want to have for your film and the goals that you want to have for your career, then you can start to narrow down the festivals that you feel are going to be right for you and your film. Second, you always want to remember to enter a film festival during the early bird deadline period. This helps you in two ways. First, it makes sure that you are submitting with the lowest entry fee possible. The early bird deadline fees are the lowest that a festival will offer, but as you get closer and closer to the festival dates, that submission fee is going to get higher and higher as you go through the deadline periods. So hit it up early and you can save yourself a lot of money as you submit to several different festivals. Some early bird deadline fees are as low as $10, maybe $5, some are even free. So you really want to do your research and find out what those costs are. The second way that this helps you is that it ensures that many more people see your film. If you wait until the regular deadline, the late deadline, or even the extended deadline, that means that screeners have less and less time to view your film before they make their programming decisions. By submitting early, you ensure that a lot of screeners from the festival are going to get a chance to see your film. Next, don't be afraid to ask others on your team to help split the cost of submission fees. As you get your plan together and you start to make that list of film festivals that you want to enter, it's not going to take long for you to see just how much money it will take to enter in all of these festivals. It can really add up quickly. And if you're an independent filmmaker financing this yourself, that could be a real burden over time. So don't be afraid to go to those core people in your group that helped you and believed in you and really supported your vision, and just see if they'd be willing to split some of those costs with you. You'd be surprised at how often they'll say yes. And while we're on the topic of finances, don't be afraid to ask a festival for a discount. You'd be surprised at just how many festivals will offer a discount waiver code if you simply ask. But it's not enough just to ask them. You need to have some sort of angle. Maybe you are a filmmaker in the region and you're submitting to a local festival. You need to look and see if they offer waiver codes for local filmmakers to help support the local filmmaking community. Even regional festivals might help those filmmakers that are located in the region. If there's a specific niche that you're going after, whatever the angle is, just don't be afraid to ask for that discount. And sure enough, I bet you that there will be some out there that will give you a discount on the submission fees. Next, you really need to research each festival. Don't enter just because you'd like the sound of the title or the fact that it has Los Angeles or Hollywood written at the front of the film festival name. You want to look into each festival specifically and find out if it's a right fit for you. Look at what they've programmed in the past. Are they programming films that fit with the genre of film that you have? Look for networking opportunities. Are they giving filmmakers a chance to really get together and communicate with each other, network, make those connections? That's super important, especially if you're looking for new doors of opportunity. Next, look to see if the festival will offer you, the filmmaker, the opportunity to meet with jurors at the film festival. Not necessarily because you expect to receive feedback on the particular film that you have screening there, but the jurors at these festivals are talented filmmakers in their own rights. Perhaps there are other directors and writers on the jury, or maybe even producers, maybe even programmers at another festival. You want to make sure that you have those opportunities to get in front of these people, put a name with a face, make those connections that can really help you down the road. Find out if the festival is looking for anything specific for that particular year. Also find out if they offer cash prizes. Look to see if they offer filmmaker accommodations. Getting into the festival is one thing, getting to the festival is another thing entirely. So it'll really help you as an independent filmmaker with your budget if you can attend festivals that offer up filmmaker accommodations, or at least discounts to local hotels in the area. Look to see what kind of press opportunities are available to you at this particular festival. Will local media be in attendance? Will you get the chance to do red carpet interviews, let's say, or a podcast interview? Anything that will help you gain the exposure that you need for your film. Remember that the screening of your film is only a minor part of the festival experience. So much value in attending film festivals are the network opportunities and the chance to get your name, your face, your film out in front of the media and the public any way that you can. As you're getting your film festival plan in place and you're creating that list of festivals that you would like to submit to, don't forget to submit to festivals of all sizes. Let's face it, some of the large festivals will give you the prestige and the publicity you want, but so many of them will be out of reach for where you are right now. On the other hand, the smaller festivals might be easier to get into, but ultimately, are they really worth it for you? Because they might not give you the publicity and the exposure you need for your career. So you really got to ask yourself what works well for you. So be sure as you're putting that list together that you're submitting to film festivals of all sizes, small, medium, and large. Next, you always want to be sure to include a cover letter with your submission. Now, I know that a lot of times these cover letters are optional when you're making your submission, but film festivals really do appreciate it. But make sure that you're not just sending a form cover letter. You really want to get specific and personalize it to each and every festival. Festival directors and programmers really appreciate this. They appreciate the time that you take in doing so. Now, these don't have to be long, usually 1 or 2 paragraphs, and you just want to hit the highlights. First, thank them for considering your film. Second, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the film itself and why it's important to you. Is there anything interesting that happened during the making of this film, or why you were inspired to make this film? You might want to mention how you feel like this film can be appropriate for this particular film festival. Talk about some things that they've programmed in the past and how you think your film fits in nicely with the film festival's vision. Also, be on the lookout for niche festivals. Is your film a horror? Well, there are plenty of horror film festivals out there. Maybe it's a comedy. Again, tons of comedy film festivals out there. Is it PG? There's plenty of family-friendly festivals out there. Whatever it may be, there is a film festival out there that's right for your genre. So be on the lookout for those, because that might be a good way to get into the film festival circuit. And finally, don't forget online film festivals. Although they don't have live screenings, online festivals can still provide you with valuable jury feedback, ways to promote your film, and maybe even cash prizes. And those are a few festival strategies that have worked for me in the past. Again, if you have anything to add, please leave them in the comments section and tell me what has worked for you. I'd love to hear about it. As always, click subscribe so you know exactly when new videos are posted, and be sure to connect with me on my website at clinttill.net. Thanks for watching.